when we consider the Easter attack of 2019, the Easter Sunday attack of 2019, currently there are people under detention. And for the longest time now, there's been this subject of rehabilitation for those individuals and those people under detention. And there has been quite a debate, mostly siding on the fact that rehabilitation is not something people want in this context of the Easter attack and the detainees. But you've worked with some survivors of this attack. You're in the field. What are your thoughts on rehabilitating detainees? Because some of the main narratives of this is especially coming from the Muslim community, and there are various aspects to it. For example, Muslims feel like it might be a threat to their religion or their faith. There's a stigma around it. They ask the question why, because some of them feel that their family members are not even guilty, so why undergo rehab? What are your thoughts on this issue?
When it comes to working with at a conceptual level, I think some of these programs are driven by this understanding that when it comes to extremists, right, as the word itself says, that they have been trained or they have been brainwashed with certain extreme ideologies. So rehabilitation as the approach to challenge those ideologies and to allow them to unlearn and then relearn more social friendly, functional ways of understanding. If that is the understanding that drives these rehabilitation programs, I would agree with that. All the research papers that I've read so far about working with extremists, I do know that there is a very small, very small unit within the larger community who are taken into these ideologies for all sorts of reasons. I mean, why somebody would believe in extreme ideologies is, I really don't think it is about the religion per se. There are a lot of individual, historical, political factors that shape someone's choice to believe in extreme ideology. So that would be one point. Secondly, one of the things that I've noticed in the Sri Lankan context is the detainees. I'm not necessarily sure whether we can confirm without any doubt that these detainees are actually that extreme unit. There are a lot of questions about who is taken into custody, on what grounds, who decides that these are the suspects, what is the processes involved, what are the processes involved in really carefully scrutinizing this evidence and then deciding, okay, yeah, this is valuable evidence and this confirms that these people should be detained. So there are a lot of questions about that. So that would be another huge problem here. Thirdly, when it comes to people who have been detained, given that the group of people who are detained are not necessarily homogeneous. I mean, it's such a diverse group of people who are put together. Another problem in the Sri Lankan context is that some people among these detainees are actually radicalized, but some people are not. But when you put both these groups together and literally keep them together for a significant period of time and then release them, what happens is people who are not radicalized before, it's almost as if they're going through a training course. They're being exposed during the period that they are detained. And when they come out, people who are actually not radicalized, people very functional, healthy in their understanding of the religion or their life, come out with all sorts of confused ideas. Right? A huge problem, the fourth problem that I see is, for the most part in the Sri Lankan context, these efforts are security oriented. So who is taken into custody, what is being done, are understood as well as planned from a hardcore security approach. It's about asserting security. It is not about understanding complexity of the social political phenomenon. It is not about really making sure that the communities rebuild themselves and rebuild these relationships so that they can have this sustainable peace in the future. It's literally about headhunting, which is about security. Not that security is not important, security is important, but if it is only security that direct and guide these interventions, there are a lot of problems about that, right? Security is only one part of it. You can detain people, but once they go back, they are going back into a community. People need to know how to live with each other. Otherwise, it is going to come up again.